Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to the Breakfast Club. It is your favorite trainer, Coach Chuck. Today is Friday, February 10th, and time is flying. Time is flying. It is, let's see, what do we got today? We have kind of a medium effort. I wouldn't say medium effort. It's going to be some effort, but not a whole lot of jumping around, not a whole lot of aerobic. We're going to get some core. We're going to get some push-ups in. And yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Now, I'm feeling a little tight today, so I want to start with a stretch. This stretch is a squatted or a seated stretch. Basically, what I'm going to have you do is get into your squat position, okay? Let me just adjust this. So, squat position is feet just outside of hip width apart. I need to get myself on these cameras that will follow me and center me right in the middle if I try to hire somebody to do this for me. Okay, so feet are going to be a little bit outside of hip width apart, right? I'm going to reach down and get my hands on the ground, and I'm going to squat. Now, I'm going to try to keep my hands on the ground throughout the whole movement. Now, while I'm down here, I'm really trying to push these hips towards the ground and using my elbows to open up the legs. Now, keeping my hands on the ground, I'm going to go ahead and lift my legs up, or lift my hips up and back, right? And then I'm going to try to straighten the legs and tuck the head until the legs are completely straight. Now, to get the legs completely straight, I've had to lift my thumbs off of the ground, right? And then I'm going to, so right now in this position, my hips are taller than my shoulders. And then I'm going to go back to start position. Breathing in, and then I'm going to breathe out as I push back up. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Give you a side view of this as well. Okay, so I'm here. We're just going to do 12 of these. We're going to call that 3. So 4. Each time I raise these hips up, I want to try to keep more and more of my hand on the ground. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. 12. All right. Now, let's go ahead and get on the ground or on your mat. Okay, with legs out, hands behind your back like so. Now I'm going to take my right leg and I'm going to cross it over my left leg. And then I'm going to lean back, get that left foot on the ground, and then I'm going to lift up. Okay? So I'm in this position here. Now I'm going to try to get my hips closer to my heel, and then I'm going to try to set my hips back down. So I'm super tight, and so I can't get my hips on the ground. So I'm just going to go ahead and hold this, and we're going to hold it for, let's say, a minute. A minute. Now, this isn't part of the workout, but as I was setting up this morning, I thought, listen to your body, right? I got this great workout ready to go. But if your body is telling you, hey, you're not necessarily ready to do this, then you should listen to it and do the things that you can do to try to encourage your body to do the things that you want it to do. So that is what we are doing. So hopefully you weren't gung-ho on just hitting the ground running this morning because I need to take care of, or I need to provide some maintenance to this body first. All right, we got 10 seconds. Then we're gonna go ahead and switch to the other side. And as you can see, my butt is getting closer to the ground, but it hasn't hit the ground yet. Normally, I would do this stretch until it is down there, but all right. So let's get the other side, okay? So now I'm gonna take this left leg and cross it over the right. I'm gonna lean back till I can get that right foot on the ground, lift my hips up. And then I'm gonna try to bring those hips close. And then we'll start the timer right there. So you should really be, now this is kind of a tricep workout, right? Because especially if your butt is not on the ground, because your triceps are being challenged here by holding your body up. But you should feel this stretch in your glute, right? So all in here. Okay. Okay. Gotta start checking that. I can't keep saying that. Getting about halfway done. Just breathe and take note of the fact, or take note if you see a discrepancy between each stretch. Meaning, is it tighter on this side or is it tighter on the other side? Okay, rest. Nice. All right, so we're going to go through a series of push-ups / stretches. Okay, and this first one is going to be what's called an elbow to ankle push-up. And we're going to go for about 1 minute. So I'm going to show you what the movement looks like. Then we have to bring you down to my level. You're going to be on the ground with this. So basically, you're going to get into your push-up position, right? We're going to start with the push-up, right? So we're going to go all the way on the ground. I'm going to go ahead and lift the hands up. You're going to take a deep breath in. And as I breathe out, press up to the top of the push-up. Then your right foot is going to come to the outside of your right hand. Now I'm going to try to keep that left leg straight. I'm going to lift up this right hand and take a deep breath in and breathe out and try to get to the ground. Place that right hand back on the ground. Take the right leg back. And then we do another push-up, okay? So we go here. And then we'll repeat that on the other side. Okay, let's go for 1 minute. We're gonna do that for 1 minute, okay? And we're gonna get started here in 5 seconds. Okay, and we're up. Wait. It comes up, even if I have to walk it up. Okay, I'm calling an audible. Let's go 2 minutes. I feel like we didn't get enough of those in. Thirty seconds. One more, one more. Okay, good job. All right, let's break those up with a Superman. So we're gonna go a Superman for 30 seconds here. Our Superman is, we're on the ground, right? We point the toes, we separate the feet, the arms go extended. Let's go with thumbs up like so, right? And then we're gonna squeeze the glutes first and then lift like that. Okay, 3, 2, 1, and go. Now, you want to try to keep your arms straight at the elbow and keep the legs straight at the knee. And really lift from your glutes. That's the foundation of the lift. The glutes, 10 seconds. Try to get those hands above the head. Try to get the heels above the butt, the glutes. And rest it. Good job. Good job. Make sure you got your water. Make sure you have your towel. And then we're going to move on. Next, we need some push-up toe touches. So what a push-up toe touch is, same thing, right? I'm going to get in my push-up position. I'm going to lower myself. Take a deep breath in. Lift the hands up. Push up. Now, I'm still going to take the step to the outside of the hand. This time, I'm going to lift the right hand up, and I'm going to push through the right leg and the left hand to lift this leg up. Whoops. I'm going to try to shoot it through. Drop the hip, touch the toe, right? Lift it up again. Now the key, this heel wants to lift up to give us more room to take the leg through. We want to try to keep it down and force our core to push up so that we can stick that leg back, put the hand back down, and then finish in your plank position, okay? We're going to go 2 minutes of those, right? And we will start here in 15 seconds. 2 minutes. Take your time. It doesn't matter how many you get. We're just going to ground and pound. 5 seconds. And here we go. Start with the push-up. Okay. Foot comes up. Lift up the hand. Really keep that right heel down. Go through, touch the toe. Come on back. Repeat on the other side. That was 1 minute. Ugh, that is getting hard. Feel like I can do it better on my left side. Because my right shoulder is a little stronger than my left shoulder. And here, I have to support my weight on that left shoulder, pushing away from the ground, right? And that left side of the floor. Yeah, these are tough. But you knock out 2 birds with one stone. Okay, rest. Nice. We're back into Superman here. Superman, let's go in 10 seconds. Superman, hold. 5 seconds. Okay, here we go. Squeeze those glutes. 15 seconds. Resting. All right. The next one is what's called a Cossack squat push-up. Cossack squat push-up. This is going to be a stretch for your groin, this part, and your hamstring, that part. Okay. Same setup. We're going to do a push-up here. Breathing in, lift up those hands, breathe out. Now I'm going to take that foot, step it up. Now pay close attention to my left foot, right? I'm going to take that foot and drop it. Now I'm going to keep these hands on the ground as I slide back into essentially a side lunge. But sitting down and back like this is going to stretch out the groin and hamstring. Then I'm going to slide forward, right? That foot back up on the toe, take this leg back, and then we're back down on the ground. All right? We'll go 2 minutes with that. 2 minutes with that. And we're going to start here in 10 seconds. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Okay, let's start with the push-up. Okay. How low can you go? How low can you go? Ah, 30 seconds. And rest it. Good job. Good job. Okay, we got that 30-second Superman, and then we will move on. 30-second Superman. Okay, we'll get started here and let's go 10 seconds. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Okay, and we're up. Point with those toes, reach with those hands. 10 seconds. And rest it. Good job. All right, let's move along. Next, we need to get on our feet. And we're gonna do what's called a standing leg abduction. Abduction, right? So what do I mean by abduction? It is a kinesiology term, and it talks about movement of your body. So I have my limbs and I have my midsection, right? Anytime I take my limbs and I move them towards me, that's called adduction. Anytime I move them away from me, it's called abduction, right? Adduction, abduction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift my weight over to my right leg and lift my left leg up, keeping my left toe pointed straight ahead, my left heel pointed straight behind me. I'm going to lift that leg up as high as I can, right? And then I'm going to come back down, and I'm not going to put it on the ground. I'm going to keep it floating. And so I'm just going to go bam, bam, bam. Now, okay, that's all we're going to do. We are going to do that for 1 minute. 1 minute, okay? Now, if you need to put the foot down, it's okay, but lift it right back up, and we're just going to float it. We're going to get started here in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. Now think about lifting with your heel, not the toe. When you turn your toe out, you start to use a different set of muscles. We want to use that glute med to lift. We're also using your hip and your quad to, as your, what I call that, as your foundation to push off of. You're going to feel it in both legs. Now, the right knee can be slightly bent. Right, you're going to feel this in your calf of the right leg, foot. Five seconds. I know it's burning. Keep going. And rest it. Nice. Okay. Okay. I got to figure out how to get okay out of what I say. It's like you say it over and over again. Okay, let's go. Here we go again. We are going to start here in 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go. Weight is on the left leg. Now the right leg is in motion. In March, I will have been doing this class for a full year. And it's interesting because the focus was trying to grow the class. And the class has grown somewhat, not as much as I'd like it to, but it's grown. So then mentally the focus had to shift to trying to get better at doing the class. And after almost a year, still saying, okay, way too much. It takes practice, it takes time. As does everything. And rest, including exercise, right? A lot of times we get into it and we devote some time and we start eating right, we try to start sleeping right, and we look in the mirror and we're like, there's no change. And we get frustrated and we quit, right? That was that word again. Anything that you do, you have to put the time into it. It's a process. Sometimes it might take a month. Sometimes it might take 6 months. Sometimes it might take a year. Sometimes it might take 5 years. But keep plugging away at your craft and you will perfect it. You will perfect it. Next, what do we have? We got bicycle crunches. So we're going to hit this core a little bit. Now you guys remember bicycle crunches. Bicycle crunch. I'm on my back. I got my fingertips behind my ears. Now I like fingertips behind ears. A lot of times people like to intertwine their fingers and put it behind their head, and they don't realize it. But when they're exercising, they're pulling on those what I call, or what is called, your cervical extensors, the muscles that pull your head forward, right? We're assisting them in pulling on what's called your cervical, why am I drawing a blank here? Your cervical extenders, your cervical flexors. So we're pulling on the cervical extensors, which they get pulled on all day if you work a desk job by just the weight of your head typing on that computer. Don't pull on your cervical extensors. Let them work on their own, because this is where we need to get stronger here anyway, because if I were sitting up on my desk, I want them to be strong enough to hold my head back. So don't pull on them during exercise. Take your fingertips behind the ears, keep the elbows wide, right? There's that word again. Keep the elbows wide, knees are up. I'm going to extend one knee. I'm going to try to get that foot or that heel to touch the ground. Now the opposite knee is going to stay tucked while I take my right elbow and touch it. Then all I'm going to do is switch position. We're getting started in 5 seconds. We're going to go a full minute. 3, 2, 1, go. Thirty seconds. $15 seconds. Ooh, 5 seconds. And resting. Good job. Good job. Let's take it over to the wall. Let's take it over to the wall. We're going to do a wall sit. We're going to do a 1 minute wall sit. Okay. There's that word again. There's that word again. So, my wall is right over there. Right there. All right, so what you need is your feet out in front of you to where when you drop down, you have a 90-degree bend at the knee, and then you have a 90-degree bend at the hip. Keep the feet wide. We're going to be driving through midfoot and heel, and we're going to be driving the hips into the wall, the mid back into the wall, and the head into the wall. So we're going to drop down in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're down. Keep the knees wide. Again, push through midfoot and heel. Do not put your hands to brace on the knees. Get them off to the side. Get them here. Deep breaths. It's very important to push through midfoot and heel. Push that hip or the tailbone into the wall. When you start pushing with the toe in this position, you really stress those quads, which stress the knees. 10 seconds. Just that quick. And rest it. Good job. Good job. What we got next? We'll take it back to the core. Take it back to the core. So the movement that we're going to be doing is kind of a elbows to knee crunch. And setup for that is I'm going to take my fist and put them on the ground like so. Elbows are pointed up towards the sky. I'm going to kick my heels out away from my hips. Now my knees are pointed up towards the sky. I'm going to take a deep breath in, and as I breathe out, knees to elbows, back down. That's the movement. We're starting in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Now, if you want to make this more difficult, just set those heels down further away from your hips. You can do the same thing with your fist. $20 seconds. And then it's elbow to knee, not elbow to thigh, right? Elbow to knee. 5 seconds. And resting. Good job. Next, we're going to get into what's called a fire hydrant. These are called fire hydrants because if you have a dog like me, I don't know what it is about dogs, but every time they walk by a fire hydrant, they need to pee on it. And if it's a male dog, well, I don't know. I mean, my dog is a male dog, so I shouldn't speak on female dogs. They always lift the leg to pee. So we call this a fire hydrant. Now, when we get into a position where my hands are underneath the shoulders and my knees are underneath the hips, I'm going to shift my weight slightly to the right knee and hover that left leg. I'm going to lift that leg straight out to the side, right? I'm not going to open it up, lifting it. I'm not going to be tucking it and lifting it. I'm going to lift it straight out to the side. And then I'm going to not let the knee go travel once it's up there, like back or forward. It's going to stay there as I kick forward here. And then I'm going to bring it back and go here. And we're just going to keep going. Now we're going to do that for a full minute, starting in 5 seconds. So, and it's 4 movements. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. Fifteen seconds. And rest. Now, of course, we have to get the other side. We have to get the other side. All right. And we will start this here in about 5 seconds. And let's go. 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. And rested. All right. Let's go with one more. And then we will call it. Okay. There's that word again. So we are going to do a forearm plank, single leg. Way that looks. I'm going to get down in my plank position. And I'm going to lift the leg. I'm going to keep both legs straight, as straight as I can. Now these two, we're going to do for 30 seconds because these are tough. These are super tough. I believe you can do it. I believe I can do it. We are going to get started here in 5 seconds. Here we go. I'm going to start with my right leg up in the air. I'm going to really engage those glutes. I'm going to really engage my core. I'm going to try to keep my hips level. And that's 15 seconds. 5 seconds. 5 seconds left. And the rest. Those are tough. Those are tough. Okay, let's do the other side. We will get started here in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Seconds. 10. 5. Rested. Okay. There's that word again. All right. Good job, people. Good job. You might notice Coach Chuck is kind of mellow today. Low energy. Been pushing it a little too much. Been thinking about that. Been thinking about trying to balance out what's too much and what's not enough. So it's adjustments. It's a process, but we're going to figure it out. But even with that, make sure you give yourself a round of applause. Make sure you give yourself a high five. Make sure you give yourself a pat on the back. Celebrate all victories, large and small. Without further ado, let's get into the words of wisdom. Every night before I go to bed, I try to focus on some affirmations or words of wisdom. I'm trying to be very intentional about this because I think the more you practice it, the more it just becomes natural. You can control your attitude. You can control your effort. How do you control your attitude? Well, you try to be positive, right? How can you be positive? Well, you expose yourself to positive things, positive thoughts. Thoughts are real, or they become real. So if you are focusing on the negative, it is hard to have a positive mindset or just a positive attitude. But if you focus on positive things, things that make you think, then those things become easier. So every night, this is the practice of Coach Chuck. Whenever I read something that really resonates with me, I try to bring it to you guys. And last night, what resonated with me was how people treat you is their karma. How you react is yours. Right? There's that word again. I'm going to keep on myself about that until that word I don't use a whole lot. How people treat you is their karma. How you react is yours. So over the last year, one of the things that has made itself clear to me is that not every action deserves or requires a reaction. Sometimes you're just meant to observe it, right? Someone can say something to you that might offend your ego, or somebody could say something to you that might just hurt your feelings. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it requires a reaction. And that has been something that, when I was growing up, the way I was raised, anything that you did or anything that you said, there would always be a reaction to it. So now I'm an adult and a father, I'm starting to learn that not everything requires that reaction. So when I read how people treat you is their karma and how you react is your karma, the connection there was you feel as though when something happens that you must react because you are the person to make sure that you can deliver the karma based on the offense. But that's not your job, right? Because if you react in a certain manner, then it makes you just as bad as the person who said it. And I don't know, I'm starting to ramble now, but I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop. And I'm just going to leave you with this. How people treat you is their karma. How you react is yours. So wake up, wake up, wake up. Get out there and attack this Friday. Have a fabulous weekend. I will be back here Monday morning at the same time, hopefully with a little higher energy. And we will continue to get it in for 2023. So thank you for joining me this morning, and you have a fantastic day. Thank you.